Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, Elle's Temple. My name is Elle. I'm a goddess guide and intuitive tarot reader. And today I'm so excited to be bringing you a reading all about you have the power to get your manifestation. Messages of focus, confidence, and determination from Goddess Artemis. So today we've got the beautiful Goddess Artemis overseeing this reading all about your manifestations. Artemis is a wonderful goddess to call on when you are wanting to set those intentions for anything in particular that you're trying to manifest in your life. So if you have any particular goals, whether it's a business goal, a creative goal, just any kind of manifestation that you want to see in your life, maybe it's a certain type of lifestyle that you want to create, or you're wanting to call in a relationship, or you're wanting to call in just more time freedom, or you're wanting to really set your sights high and go after really making your mark on the world because you want to, make a difference and step into your true purpose. It could be like writing a book or doing something that involves some kind of like endurance and focus and determination and like really showing up, having a lot of courage to, put a certain, like, whether it's a piece of work out there or, sort of go after a certain kind of like business goals or something like that. Goddess Artemis is a wonderful goddess to call on to help you channel that inner focus and inner confidence and inner strength and inner motivation to like really set your goal, set your sights high and go after what it is that you're wanting to achieve or what you're wanting to manifest. It's a really positive time to be drawing on Artemis energy, actually, because she is a moon goddess, and she's a wonderful goddess to call on when you're wanting to set new intentions for a new moon cycle. So this reading in particular is not a new moon in Leo reading. However, I am filming it around the time of the new moon in Leo. So if you're watching it at the time of upload, those energies are present. However, just to quickly announce for those of you that are wanting a dedicated new moon in Leo reading and future moon readings and working with Artemis more deeply to attune to the energies and rhythms of nature and the cosmos and the moon and so forth to really bring about your manifestations, check out my Patreon page. I will leave the link below. It's got all, once you click on the link and go into the membership, you'll be able to see all the exclusive readings that will be over on Patreon. So there'll be new moon readings, every moon cycle, full moon readings, and waxing moon readings. And this will help you to set those intentions, bring the manifestation about during the full moon, step into the fullness of that sort of creatrix energy. And then in the waxing moon, release any blocks that might be holding you back from manifesting what your intentions are. So they will be exclusive to my Patreon page. So check that out if you're interested in that type of thing. There's also two other tiers, the creatrix tier and the sage tier. The sage tier is all about stepping onto the priestess path, and the creatrix tier is all about exclusive goddess readings. There'll also be a chance to suggest reading topics and vote on the topics that you want to see in terms of like which particular areas of life you would like to receive support from goddesses. And there'll be I'll be introducing that tier to a lot of different goddesses around the world. So that's just a quick rundown of my Patreon for those of you that might be interested. So now to get into the reading for today, we've got 3 different piles for you to choose from. If you are drawn to the Queen of Alfame with magic and beauty are the key words here, card number 29, you will be pile number 1. The timestamp will be below. And the crystal is the beautiful labradorite. Love this little labradorite ball. Okay, if you are drawn to the Book of Shadows with experience, card number 41, you will be pile number 2. And your crystal is the sodalite crystal. Okay, and if you are drawn to, last but not least, the crone with card number 42 with release, you will be pile number 3. And your crystal is the beautiful black moonstone. Okay, so pause the video if you need a little bit more time to choose which pile is calling you. It may well be that there is more than one pile that you are drawn to today, because there may be messages from Goddess Artemis from across the different piles around what you need to do in order to bring about this manifestation that you are going for. So definitely trust your intuition with this one. If you're drawn to more than one pile, there may be a few different messages that you need to draw on to create your reading for today. So only ever take what resonates, leave the rest, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the Queen of Alfame with Magic and Beauty and the Labradorite, this will be your reading. So I feel like for this pile, you have such beautiful, very feminine energy, or an energy that's very connected to a sort of otherworldly realm, like the fairy realm, I'm thinking, the elemental world. And we've got, hopefully you can see close up on this card, there's a lot of like little fairies here. There's this very goddessy energy, but also quite angelic with the wings. So some of you may well have a very strong connection to either fairy energy, angelic energy, goddess energy, animal energy as well. We're seeing a few different animals here too, or just the world of nature. You might be someone who spends a lot of time out in nature. You like to get out into the woods. You feel very connected with the elements when you're outside. You're able to kind of draw on that energy in order to use that nature energy to bring about what it is you're wanting to bring about in your life, and from a very magnetic and receptive place. I feel like it's very feminine energy. It's making me think of the Empress, this card, for those of you that know tarot, that Empress energy in tarot, that it's that whole like I don't need to chase, I just attract, just by virtue of like being very grounded in my feminine energy. I see also with the mirror here and the crystal ball that she's holding, some of you may well have the ability to see through illusions with the mirror, or you're able to read people very well. You could be very intuitive, you could be clairvoyant or clairaudient, or one of the clairs, or just have an ability to kind of like, maybe you can see into the future. You might be someone who can do some sort of divination or something with that crystal ball. You may be very connected with your intuition. In fact, she's got these kind of golden spirals above her third eye there. So this could be a message to kind of say, if that's something that you're wanting to step into more fully, that could be something that you could like turn to gold, in terms of you could monetize that gift if it's something that you already have very naturally, and it could be something that you could share with people and receive reciprocal value from, because it's a very valuable gift. It's something that I feel that people could really benefit from, you being able to shine, like sort of you being able to like shine this mirror, like mirror energy back to them, because you can like see them more clearly than that they can see themselves. So it may be that you may have psychic gifts in some way. It may be that you could be like a counselor or something, where you mirror people's emotions back to them. You help them get clarity and get to the depths of what their emotions are trying to tell them, help them to sort of read themselves better, understand themselves better, because you've got this sort of like ability to kind of like gaze into their soul and understand who they really are. Maybe some of you are a coach as well, or that could be something you could be feeling called towards. That could be something that you're aiming for. With Goddess Artemis, you might be doing training to become a coach or something, to help people like step into their potential or become more authentically themselves or something like that. Because with that sort of selenite crystal ball that she's holding, or clear crystal ball, it's like you've got this very clear perception on people that helps them see into who they really, really are. You're also someone with magic and beauty, where you make everything more beautiful in your life. Like just your presence radiates very feminine energy. You may well be physically very beautiful, but even if you don't consider yourself as that, I feel like you have very beautiful energy. You have very feminine, very soft, very just very beautiful energy. I could sit in this energy for ages, but I'm going to move on with the tarot portion of your reading now. So just to let you know, so you know what to expect, for those of you that have been on my channel for a while, I often do a lot of oracle-based readings, but today I felt guided by Goddess Artemis. I feel like she's a bit more of a straight shooter, as you can see there, to go straight for tarot, and we're not gonna do any oracle. We're just gonna go with tarot here. So let's get a card for what it is that you are trying to manifest. What is pile 1 trying to manifest? What is pile 1 trying to manifest? Woo, that almost got burnt by the candle there. Ace of Swords. Wow. Yes. So a new beginning in some sort of a like something related to your mindset. I feel like you have a lot of wisdom to share with that what I was speaking about with all these skills that you have, this ability to like sort of gaze into people's souls almost, or understand people. You have a lot of wisdom that you could share with people. And I feel like this new beginning, or what you're trying to manifest, is that ability to like ground that very almost ethereal wisdom, or that wisdom that you're able to channel from, say, other realms, or from your higher self, or from your intuitive self, or whatever it might be, into the physical, into the real world, into some sort of form where you can be like a messenger for people. You can like give those messages of wisdom out. That may not be for all of you. So for others of you, this may be that what you're trying to manifest is just more clarity, the ability to make a decision about something. I just saw 1111 when I said that. So yeah, some of you might be trying to decide on something. It could be you're at a bit of a crossroads and you're trying to decide on a path, or you're trying to decide on a path of study, or on something that you're trying to create, or something, or a job maybe. But there's this sense of like this new beginning that's coming, where once you finally like kind of put your sword in the ground and kind of taken that stand and really decided on something, that's going to give you a lot of power for this new cycle. So that's what you're trying to manifest. Let's get a card for what's been holding you back. What's been holding, whoa, that came out fast. 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Okay, so I feel like in the position of something that's holding you back, it feels like whatever this decision that you're making, or whatever this new beginning is that you're wanting to kind of go after and firmly put your sword in the ground and say, okay, I'm here, this is what I'm doing, or this is what I'm going to offer, or whatever it might be. It's like you feel like you are maybe not deserving or worthy or good enough of that. It's like the 9 of Cups is often to do with wish fulfillment. So it kind of feels a bit like you don't necessarily feel like that wish is going to come true. So there's a disbelief, or there's like a cognitive dissonance almost, is what I'm hearing, between like what you actually have the talent to manifest, or to go after, or to learn, or to give to people in some way, and what you internally feel you're worthy of, in terms of like it's like I'm hearing like wishy-washy, like you don't, the wish, you have this wish that you want to be fulfilled, but you're kind of going after it in a wishy-washy way. Like you don't really feel deserving of this wish. You don't really feel like this wish is going to be fulfilled, or this cup is going to be filled up in that way. Or maybe you don't feel like this work is going to be very emotionally fulfilling, or something like that. It's like there's something a bit that's holding you back around, kind of not, I feel very strongly it's to do with like not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, or not feeling like you can actually have this cup, like you can actually kind of hold it in your hand. So maybe for some of you, it's like a gift that you have, but you don't really feel worthy of sharing that wisdom in some way. You don't feel like that wish is going to be fulfilled for whatever reason. You feel like you need to kind of keep it under wraps or something. Maybe what I was saying for some of you about monetizing it with her third eye and the kind of golden crown being over her third eye. Maybe for some of you, it's like you're happy just sharing that gift in a small way, but you don't feel that your wish to have it monetized, or to make a business out of that, is something that could be successful, or something kind of along those lines is what I'm getting. So let's get a final few cards on what you need to do to get this manifestation. What does part 1 need to do to get this thing that they're wanting to, this new beginning, or this new decision? What does part 1 need to do? If I can pick it up. Princess of Staves. So this is Princess of Wands, or Knight of Wands energy. So this is using your creative power in some way to plant something, and with your, like, it's almost like you can see she's kind of, she's looking at this wand really intently, like watching it grow kind of thing, like just steering all her energy. So I feel like it's like visualizing is what I'm getting. Visualizing yourself growing, visualizing yourself being successful, visualizing yourself knowing which path it is that you want to go down, if it's a decision you're trying to manifest, or if it's trying to monetize a gift or something. It's visualizing yourself being able to do that, being able to receive money for that gift, or being able to receive whatever wish it is that you felt a bit unworthy of. It's like seeing yourself receiving it, seeing yourself being in like being given it, essentially. Like, so whatever it is, and it will be different for all of you because this is a general reading. So, you know, say for example, you are wanting to set up a business or something, and, you know, putting some kind of something out there or something. And it's like seeing yourself receiving, you know, your certificate of like, you know, confirming that Pal One is in business now, blah, 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 is registered, blah, blah, blah. Or seeing yourself, you know, setting up the, whatever, the bank account or the PayPal or something where you're receiving money into that account. So I'm kind of just seeing this like attentive gaze where you're focusing your gaze on what you want to see growing, not on thoughts of unworthiness, or is it really worth it, or can I really do it, or maybe I shouldn't go after this. It's that wishy-washy energy where it's like you're sort of trying to put an intention out there for something that you want to see in your life, or something that you want to see grow, and then you're kind of like doubting it by being like, oh, I'm not sure I'm really deserving of that. Or like, it may not even be that that's what you're telling yourself, but subconsciously that's kind of what's going on underneath the surface, and it's sort of blocking this, like, this clarity and this wisdom from coming through, and this new beginning from being able to take off for you, essentially. So with this Three of Wands, it's like, yeah, really focusing your energy. Wands and energy is all about fire energy. So it's about like harnessing that passion. Maybe some sacral chakra clearing could be helpful for you as well, because that's really about tapping into that, you know, that creative spark, that fiery spark, you know. And we're in Leo season if you're watching this at the time of upload. So it's a really good time to, you know, harness that kind of fiery Leo energy, that creative energy. Leo energy is very creative. And I go into a bit more detail about this in the New Moon and Leo reading. But for now, just to say that you can still really, in fact, I think this actual card may have come out in that one as well. So it's a collective thing that's going on at the moment about tapping into that creative energy, tapping into that zest for life, tapping into that that spark again, that fire energy. So what lights you up? What makes you, what are you passionate about? You know, where do you want to create beauty in your life? Where do you want to see magic in your life? Like, you have the power to create that beauty, that magic that you want to see around you. You know, you have the power to, you know, plant a seed of intention and see it start to sprout. It's like once you've made the decision and got really clear on exactly like what you want to plant, and you've put it in, and that new beginning is going to sprout seeds. It's going to grow for you. It's going to bring abundance, essentially, or, you know, and that may be financial abundance if that's something you're trying to manifest, or it may be like emotional fulfillment, or whatever abundance looks like to you. But that is essentially the energy of what you can do in order to bring about this manifestation. Really focus on what you want to see grow. Do the visualization. There's plenty of like creative visualization meditations out on YouTube. So check one of those out, or even just, you know, take a moment to quiet the mind and, you know, just allow yourself to daydream, allow yourself to, you know, kind of play with the ideas and tap into the feeling, you know, that energy, that passionate energy of like, oh yeah, like what would it feel like if I was really successful and people were paying me for my gift? Or what would it feel like if I, you know, for those of you that might be wanting, maybe you're wanting to manifest a relationship, what would it feel like to really be, you know, with my person? Or, you know, it's like, what would it feel like to be in possession, to be receiving, to be in receptivity of that thing that you're trying to manifest in your life? or if it's something like a certificate of business, like I said, or finishing your course, or like something like maybe you're wanting to get a certain amount of subscribers or something on a certain platform or something like that. It's like, see yourself holding the whatever it means to you. If there's some kind of object that symbolizes or demonstrates the thing that you have, so like, say for example, with say you're wanting a committed relationship, it could be like seeing yourself with an engagement ring on or something like that. So you get the idea. But I feel like that is all the messages I've got from Goddess Artemis for you today. I hope that resonated for you. Drop me a comment in the box below if it did. I would love to hear from you. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this reading, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. All my love to you, pile number 1, and I wish all the best of luck with your manifestation. I was just about to say meditation, so that was a bit of a slip, but I feel like that is another confirmation that meditation will be very helpful for you. But anyway, enjoy your manifestation, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2. If you chose the Book of Shadows with Experience and the Sodalite Crystal, this will be your reading on You Have the Power to Get Your Manifestation. So pile number 2, I feel like maybe some of you who, if you've chosen this pile, if you've been drawn to this, you might be some sort of a writer, or you might be trying to write something at the moment, whether that's a blog, a book, even just posts for social media. I'm hearing also some of you might be in marketing. That's quite specific, so that might be just one person, but some of you, I feel like you might be trying to create something. So if it's not writing, like say a book in terms of a non-fiction or fiction book, it might be something like writing a script or a screenplay, or creating something like maybe doing a some sort of art project or something like that, or a recipe book, or something where you're drawing a lot of like your experience, you're weaving together a lot of different ideas and a lot of different experiences. Like you're gathering together lots of things and weaving it together to create something. So I'm definitely getting a strong creative vibe and a strong expressive vibe. We've got a lot of blue in the background here, which is connected with the throat chakra, which is all about expressing your truth and communication and being authentically yourself and being able to express your creativity. And we've got the sodalite crystal for you, which is a good crystal if you are wanting to help unblock your throat chakra and be able to tap into that expressive energy. Although I feel like for many of you, you already have this quite strongly naturally anyway. I feel like you're very naturally talented at, say, writing or expressing yourself. But maybe there just is, I'm being drawn to this Artemis card with focus. There just needs to be a little bit of focus to get something perhaps completed. So maybe for some of you, you've had an idea for a while to write a book, for example, or put your work out there, maybe create a podcast or some sort of creative expressive modality or something, some sort of creative expressive thing. And you might have started it, or I feel like, I mean, I'm getting a sort of across the spectrum. Some of you have just had the idea. Others of you are a little bit further along with kind of, pulling together your experience and noting things down. Maybe you've been journaling a lot, or like you've got a folder, a file where you've been collecting lots of bits of ideas or something. And there just needs to be a part that like you focus on in order to bring it to completion is what I'm getting. It's like you're at this stage now where you have so much experience and so much life experience and so much talent within you. You don't need any more. I feel like maybe for some of you, you're like, oh, if I just gather a little bit more over here, if I just do this other course, or if I just go and, watch these other videos about this, or there's a little bit of procrastination, I feel like, coming from the energy of this pile. But it feels like you've got everything within you. You've got all the raw materials. You've got all the talent there. It's just harnessing it and focusing it into actually completing this thing. And you can call on Goddess Artemis to help you do this. You can script, especially if you're a writer, doing a manifesting exercise like scripting is really good because you're already very connected with the art of writing. So scripting, I create time and focus in my schedule to complete this project, or like, this book is now completed, or something where it's like you're writing as if it's already done. And that will help kind of impress into your psyche, you know, that last sort of push for completion in a way. Let's have a look at your tarot cards to see. I do feel like as well, because Book of Shadows is often, you know, it's a lot to do with like healing, you know, sort of, you know, it comes from, you know, sort of, it's something that witches or herbalists or cunning women or whatever use to create, you know, it's like their own personal Bible or their own personal, like, you know, book that collected all their sort of recipes and all their like healing notes, you know, which herbs were which and which ones worked for which healing things and all sorts of things like that, you know, or even, you know, spells for those of you that might be into that kind of thing. But like, just more generally, the energy is like one of like, you know, really honoring like all your experience and all of your wisdom. And I feel like many of you have a lot of like healing wisdom to give, or that this particular book or this particular project is going to be very healing for other people. So there's this, I'm getting this kind of urgency coming through from your guides to be like, okay, time to focus now, child two, like, okay, like you've done enough training now, you've done enough learning, you've done enough like gathering all these ideas and all this wisdom and all this healing knowledge. Like now it's time to get it out there in some way, or at least like start. So even if it's just that first step of like, say you're thinking of creating a blog, you know, it's just buying the domain name, putting it up, putting your first post out or something. Or if it's like finishing a book, it's like carving out the time, you know, if you can create like, I don't know, a week or more in your schedule, depending on obviously where you're at in your book. It might take obviously a lot longer than that, but you know what I mean? It's like kind of like maybe even some of you have to sit up by, you know, at night, like carve out time late at night to like finish getting it done, finish the manuscript is what I'm hearing. So some of you might literally be like, someone's commissioned you for an actual manuscript or something. So you've got to send it to the publisher or something like that. So it's like, okay, like now you've got to set that goal, set that intention to like actually finish this, to weave all that wisdom, especially all that, like if it is healing wisdom, you know, that is really going to help people. Your experience of your life is really going to help people. So for some of you, this might be like writing a memoir as well. It might be like, you know, sharing your story, sharing your experience of life in some way is going to be very healing for other people. So let's have a look at the tarot. So just to quickly explain, I'm doing this reading a little bit differently from my previous readings. I usually do quite oracle card heavy readings, but today with Goddess Artemis, she's quite straight shooting, as you can see, and she was like, nope, we're just going straight for tarot. So I love it. I'm here for that. Let's just get straight to messages. We're only going to pull a few cards, four cards. We're going to pull a few cards. So first of all, we're going to look at what it is you're trying to manifest. Success in something. Yes, love this for you. Pile 2, definitely recognition, success. This woman looks like she's sitting on the back of this dragon. She's holding a flowers. It kind of looks like, you know, one's sort of falling down as if someone in the audience has thrown her flowers kind of thing. So I feel like you're trying to manifest success in something. I feel like it is something creative with that orange dragon. It's bringing to mind the sacral chakra. So it's something to do with like expressing your creativity, as I mentioned. So it's some kind of creative project. It may not be writing. For some of you, it may be like I said, art or something like that, something that involves some kind of creativity. And you're really wanting to manifest success and like recognition, you know, being esteemed in some way, or just having it received well by the public. Yeah, that like just feeling successful and what you're trying to put out there. So let's have a look at what's been holding you back from this. Whoa, that came out fast. 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you've been holding on to your ideas. This wisdom and experience, like sharing this life wisdom, sharing this life experience. That will be what will kind of make you successful. But I feel like what's been holding you back is, it's like this person's kind of sitting on this treasure chest of all their ideas and all their wisdom and just keeping it inside. And this little cat is coming over to the window being like, hey, if we just kind of left this prison room and kind of shared this stuff with the world, like maybe we could get out of here. And I feel like with the green, with the green's making me think of the heart chakra. So there's something around, it's like there's something around you loving your ideas too much to share them, is kind of what I'm getting. It's like you're trying to keep them safe, or you're trying to keep them held down. And I get that, like from a creative point of view, there's always that kind of, particularly in certain industries, I guess, there might be a risk of like someone else taking your idea, or like someone else doing what you've announced or something. So I don't feel like it's necessary about like, oh, you've got to start getting out there and like telling everyone about all your ideas for free, or like just being like, or just being like, hey, this is what I'm going to create, before you've even kind of got to a point of putting the work in. But I feel like there's something around you kind of holding on, like keeping ideas to yourself or wisdom to yourself that should be shared, and that will be something that will bring you a lot of success. Your experience, your wisdom does need to be shared and not just kept for you. It's like you went through some of those experiences not just for yourself to gain that wisdom for your own life, but like to be able to help others in some way, is kind of what I'm hearing. And I feel like I'm like, I'm getting the energy of you just kind of sitting there, like someone sitting there, like rolling their eyes, like, yes, I know, like, ugh, yes. Ah. I feel like this, like that you went through a lot of your life experiences, not to keep them to yourself, and then they were meant to be shared. But now it feels like the nudge has come, like now is the time, to put the work in, to like get this work out there in some way, whether it's a book, whether it's a blog, whether it's a piece of art, whatever it might be, whether it's just sharing your voice on a podcast, on a on something like YouTube, whatever it might be. It's like starting to put it out there. And again, you don't have to tell everyone all your ideas, or like your whole creative trajectory or something, or all of your plans. You can keep some things back for yourself, but like there's kind of this reticence or like resistance to sharing anything. And it's like that wisdom, what I'm hearing is, this is a strong message. What I'm hearing is that wisdom is not meant to die with you. It's like a legacy that you're supposed to leave. So yeah, take that as you will. That's a pretty strong message coming through from your guides. So this is what you need to do or what the energy you need to be in order to get this manifestation. And we've got Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like that, again, this is kind of confirming that once you're able to like, look, we've got a closed treasure chest there, and we've got an open treasure chest here with loads of gold kind of all spilling out. And then she's just like sitting on her chair with this gold dress, like all bougie, and like, with, Queen of Pentacles is like, her life is sorted. Like she is good. She is, abundant. She has her material needs met. She is she's grounded. She's, she's got what she needs. She can support herself. She's perhaps financially independent, or just very secure and stable within herself. She's created, I feel like this is creating wealth essentially, or if that's not something you're interested in, it's like creating a certain amount of success to give you some sort of stability or something like that, or like just, allow you to like just have your own home or something, whatever it is, whatever it might be for you. But I feel like you, like your ideas, and it's interesting, I got a really similar message from pile 1, because they had a card that had like a golden crown over the third eye, and it was about like potentially you could monetize your intuitive gifts. It's this kind of the same message for you, pile 2, but it's like you can monetize your creative gifts, or you can monetize your life experience, or you can turn this to gold. You can turn this to treasure. You have a treasure of wisdom. Sorry, the camera keeps going out of focus. You have a treasure of wisdom within you, and it's time to share it. And that will help bring you some stability and some wealth, if that's what you want, some success, if that's what you want, which I feel like you do. That's kind of what you're going after. I feel like a sense of like, being recognized and status is almost more important to you than necessarily money. But I feel like the money or the stability that you'll get as a result will kind of be like a bonus, like an extra thing as a result of the success that you're going after. You will get the success from sharing this wisdom, but you'll also create a lot of in the process, create as a byproduct, create a lot of security and stability for yourself. Yeah, and it's just I feel like it's something that there's a lot of green on this card as well, which again, heart chakra. So it's something you're going to really love doing. Like you are going to get that emotional fulfillment from this. You are going to get that sense of feeling very like grounded in who you are. That's the kind of vibe I get from this particular Queen of Pentacles. Like she just really knows who she is. She's very grounded in her own being. So yeah, I feel like that is all the messages that I have for you, pile 2. I hope that resonated for you. Drop me a comment in the box below if it did. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the reading, the subscribe button if you're not already part of the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. All the best with your manifestation, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading on You Have the Power to Get Your Manifestation. If you chose the Crone pile with release and the black moonstone crystal, this will be your reading. So straight off the bat with this crone card, release, this card is all about letting go of something or letting go of an old way of being in order to grow into something bigger, to grow into or step into a bigger way of being or showing up more in the world in some way. It's like kind of letting go of a cloak of hiding in the shadows or keeping yourself small, or a sort of version of yourself that's very small, that's very in the darkness. So maybe some of you have been going through a bit of a dark night of the soul, or you've been going through releasing something. Maybe certain things have been falling out of your life, like you've gone through some sort of awakening process, and there's been a lot of like releasing old relationships or friendships or jobs or homes even, or just certain situations that keep kind of being pulled out of your life. And it's like there's a reason that has happened. There's a reason you've had to go through that release, and it's so that you can focus on this new beginning that is so much more expansive than anything you could have imagined. It's like I feel like you previously had this very small idea of who you could be, or what you could manifest, or what you could achieve, or what you could have, or what you were worthy of. And I feel like you need to release that smaller version of yourself, that kind of like version that's quite like shrouded in the darkness, because you are meant to like step out into the light. You're meant to have this new beginning. You're meant to go through growth. You know, she's holding a little robin here, and robins are symbolic of the spring. You know, they herald the beginning of spring. So, you know, it's a time of like release in order to renew and have this new cycle in something. So there may be something new that you're wanting to call in, but there's still this sort of process of release that needs to happen. There's kind of like letting go of like an old identity or old belief system, or like old programming, or old like maybe people in your life that have been holding you back, or something like that. That there needs to be a complete release of all of that. So maybe if it is a particular relationship or something, it might be doing a cord cutting ritual. Or if it's, you know, something where you really know, like, okay, well, like say, for example, you really want to start a new business, but you are working every hour known to man at your current job, and they're not really valuing you. And it's like, okay, well, maybe not, it may not be realistic to obviously just like quit your job. Like I'm not saying do that. But, you know, it's maybe like you need to sort of almost like energetically pull your energy back from that, not put in any extra hours at all, you know, take your full lunch breaks kind of thing, finish at 5 o'clock on the dot, or whatever is, you know, the minimum kind of thing. And then draw your energy back so that you can have this new beginning and plug your energy into something new, because there's something like bigger you're being called towards. And we'll get into that with the tarot. But I just feel like in order to grow, in order to step into this spring and go through this growth, there needs to be a period of like winter in your life where you let go of things that are holding you back, or ideas or ways of being, or just old jobs or people or something like that that have been keeping you small. So let's have a look at the tarot. So I'm going to do this reading a little bit differently for those of you that have been on my channel for a while. We're going to I was guided by Artemis just to use the tarot today because Artemis is very straight shooting, as you can see. And she was like, let's just get straight to the nut of the message with the tarot cards. So we're going to start off by looking at the cards of what it is that you're trying to manifest. So we've got the Chariot here, which I feel like is some kind of movement in your life. So maybe some of you are trying to manifest a move. You're trying to actually move, like literally like move house, move countries, move out of home, whether it's move out of home for the first time or like move, like kind of move to a new house or something like that. Move away from a relationship or something. You're trying to, move, I feel like, for some of you physically. For others of you, this is like more metaphorical in the sense that you're trying to make moves in your life. You're trying to move towards something different. You're trying to create independence for yourself, trying to sort of take those reins of your life and really create like start to intentionally create the life that you want, rather than being kind of like knocked about by like circumstances and other things. It's like you're starting to really take the reins in your life and like want to steer your life in a certain direction. You're wanting to create that shift for yourself. We also got the Empress card as well, and this is all about being in that feminine energy that is very magnetic to receiving what you want. So I feel like this is something that you're trying to move towards, or something that you're trying to manifest in your life, is being able to just like receive what you want, being able to be in that receptive energy, being able to, be in that very creative energy, that very fertile energy, that energy that is just very magnetic and doesn't have to like work really hard. So, maybe for the example, for those of you that might have resonated with the example about, maybe some of you have been working every hour known to man, but actually you really want to start your own business, or you want to put some kind of creative work out there or something. It's like, that's more that Empress energy of like not kind of being in that very like masculine, like do, like work really hard. And it's not to say like you don't have to work hard to achieve the things you want. But sometimes like working in something that is not really aligned for you is going to burn you out really, really fast, as opposed to working on something you're really passionate about and lit up about, and really like automatically magnetically attracted to it. It's like that energy propels you and it radiates out from you, and it attracts in what you need. So you don't have to like force it or like work really, really hard or work super long hours or something in order to like get what it is that you want. So I feel like that's what you're trying to manifest. So let's have a look now at, let's move this over here. Let's have a look at the cards for what's been holding you back from achieving this manifestation. Oops. What's been holding pile 3? What's been holding pile 3 back from achieving this? Knight of Coins. Okay, yeah. So money, I feel like, or stability, security. Maybe you've been, this has been sort of you've been in this Knight of Coins energy that's been like slowly, methodically and consistently plotting towards like a financial goal or something like that. It's like you're trying to maybe manifest a certain amount of money or a certain amount of security, and you've just been like methodically working away, because the Knight of Coins or Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight out of the 4 court cards. So I feel like you've been doing this, you've been trying to manifest a certain amount of money, but you feel like it's maybe been quite heavy, lethargic, quite slow. It hasn't been happening as fast as you want. You've been, I feel like you've sort of been it's like you've been more in this masculine energy. Is kind of confirming what I was saying about, you're wanting to shift into this Empress energy where you can kind of receive what you're worthy of just by virtue of being in that Empress energy. Whereas you've been in this Knight energy, this masculine energy of having to like keep putting one foot after the other and like make something happen and do really long hours and, whatever it might be. So that's something that's been kind of holding you back, is maybe being perhaps more in that masculine energy, or being really tied to some sort of financial pursuit, like a certain job or something like that, maybe. Yeah, let's see if there's anything else. What's been holding pile 3 back? Oh, came flying out. Strength. Yeah. I feel like you've maybe been waiting to make this move until you've got a bit more strength. Maybe, again, you felt a bit burnt out by that job, or you felt a bit drained by a certain relationship you were in, whatever it is that you're trying to release, or even just like, you know, issues with mental health or negative thought patterns or physical health even. You know, maybe you're trying to regain physical strength before you can really make this move, or you know, go after what it is you want. Like, again, whether it's a physical move or like this could also be going traveling. Maybe some of you want to go traveling and you're waiting to kind of save up the money or something, or you're waiting to kind of get the courage or the strength to kind of, you know, take that trip, you know, because we've got this like camel here with a like travel case on its back, and a compass here. So yeah, maybe some of you are like wanting to manifest time out to go traveling or something, and you've been waiting to save up, you've been waiting to get the like courage to kind of go after it. That's maybe been something that has been holding you back, and those are reasonable concerns for sure, but it kind of feels like maybe it's been sort of almost like using it as a bit of an excuse, or kind of like those things don't necessarily need to hold you back. Like, you know, by being in that Empress energy and being in that very magnetic energy, you'll be able to manifest this, whether it's a move, whether it's like travel, whether it's just more metaphorically, like, you know, harnessing, you know, taking the reins of your life and creating more independence for yourself in some way, or like, you know, making a move towards starting your own business or something like that. You know, maybe there's a more feminine way of going about this. So let's have a look at what you can do. What energy you need to be in. What can pile 3 do? The moon, yeah, exactly, feminine energy. So I feel like with this, and actually funnily enough, it's got moonstone, and your crystal is a moonstone. It's a dark moonstone. So moonstone could be a powerful crystal for you. The moon is all about like releasing illusions as well. So it can be about like, yeah, letting go of any limiting beliefs, letting go of any ideas about yourself, about what you're worthy of receiving, any old conditioning. Again, we've got this theme of release. So, you know, the full moon is a time of, you know, it brings up energy in order to release anything that is not serving you, so that you can call in your manifestations and like bring them to their peak, essentially. So, you know, doing some kind of moon rituals, setting intentions on the new moon, you know, releasing any energy that's not serving you on the full or the waxing moon could be very helpful for you in order to manifest what it is you're trying to go after. So also, yeah, moonstone crystal could be very helpful. And just more generally, I feel like being in this very feminine, floaty energy, you know, the moon is all about, you know, it's very linked with that Empress card, because it's all about divine feminine energy. It's about, you know, it's very yin energy. It's all about going within and, you know, working with your intuitive energies, rather than like with that Knight of Pentacles energy, that quite masculine, like, okay, I've got to make this happen, I've got to put this foot in front of that foot, and I've got to do this kind of very logical, linear progress kind of energy. This is very about like wanting you to tap into your intuitive energy, wanting you to tap into your feminine energy, wanting you to tap into that very floaty, receptive, magnetic energy, that, you know, also works with like the cycles of the moon. Like, you know, the new moon is a time to set those new intentions. The full moon is a time when you can bring those intentions into the fullness of their being, and the waxing moon is a time to kind of release and you know, gain any wisdom that you might need. It's that kind of like the winter or the autumn time of the month, you know, to let go, to release anything that's not serving you, to make way before a whole new cycle starts again. So it's like, you know, getting in touch with the rhythms of nature, getting connected with you know, the rhythms of the earth, the rhythms of the moon, you know, using this as a time to maybe like just do more yin type activities, like maybe again if you felt like you need to create more physical strength or get your health back or like something along those lines. It's like maybe using this as a time to do more sort of yin type activities, like creative things, or connect with your intuition, or do some self-nurturing as well, because the moon is connected with the energy of Cancer, which is all about nurturing. So really caring for yourself, caring for your energy, restoring your energy if you've gotten a bit burnt out, clearing any old beliefs before you can go into this new cycle and like find your strength again to go after what it is you want. Let's just finish up with one more card on what you need to do. What does pile 3 need to do to manifest? The Hierophant, Sodalite. Beautiful. So there might be, okay, what I'm getting here from this card, this is very interesting. This isn't the typical meaning of the Hierophant, by the way. This is just what I'm channeling through from what's coming up with this particular card. We've got a book here with the brain on one side and the heart on the other. And I feel like this is coming back to what I was saying about kind of harnessing that like yin and yang energy, or that masculine and feminine energy, which, by the way, I meant to say this is nothing to do with gender. So this is not to do with being a man or a woman or operating under like feminine gender norms or masculine gender norms. This is about energy, which we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So you can be a woman and be very in masculine or yang energy and operate mostly from that sort of mode. Or you can be a man and be operating mostly from a feminine energy. It's totally nothing to do with gender. This is just energy we're talking about here. So I feel like here we've got this sort of brain and heart thing going on, where it's like looking at how you can listen to your heart's wisdom. The Chariot as well speaks of that yin and yang, that, usually in the Rider-Waite deck with the Chariot card, you've got a person driving a chariot, a charioteer driving the chariot, and they've got one dark and one light, like I think it's a lion or some kind of creature at the front. And the one of these creatures is like the yang side and the other one is the yin side. So it's like harnessing both of those energies. And I feel like you're trying to come into a place of harnessing that feminine energy, harnessing that Empress energy to guide your life more, so that you're not just burning out this yang side, this masculine energy, or that kind of logical brain linear kind of energy. You're working out how to harness both of those energies so that you can steer your life in the direction that you want, so that you're more heart-centered, so that you're going after something that you really love doing. You're not just putting all your energy into something because it's just going to give you material stability or security. It's like, what is this moon card is like, she's sort of listening to the moon. It's like, what is my feminine side telling me, or what is my heart telling me? Where do I need to nurture myself? Where do I really want to go? Like, how can I use this intuitive energy, this feminine energy to receive more of what I want, rather than having to like constantly be in yang energy to like push to like, always be outputting in order to get what you want. It's like, no, those two forces can be harnessed. They can be used in balance in order to bring about any kind of manifestation or just generally in your life. I feel like that is the key to like the guiding force that you're trying to the guiding like wisdom, because Hierophant is all about like knowledge and wisdom. It's usually to do with like a traditional structure. So I feel like it's kind of like you're shrugging off that kind of, or what you need to do is maybe shrug off those traditional structures of how you should live, or how you should work, or what sort of output you should do, or whatever it might be, and start to like, you don't have to let go of all of that. Again, like I said, it might be like you still have to do your job, you still have to go to that structure on a day-to-day basis for now, just to find the stability that you need. But it's like reining your energy back so that it's more balanced, so that you have more time to like do your creative work, or like self-care, or like look after your energy, do some exercise, or like look after your health, or like read a book or write a book, because we've got a book here and with a key. So maybe some of you are wanting to excuse me, wanting to write more or wanting to read more or something like that. It's like, you know, where can you what wisdom can you be guided by? It's like, rather than just operating under sort of the dominant structures and the dominant conditioning that you've had, it's like maybe letting go of some of that, releasing some of that, and coming into more of a feminine, intuitive wisdom, being guided by your intuitive wisdom, or at least listening to it and at least acknowledging it, and then blending it with logic and, you know, that sort of Knight of Pentacles energy of like, okay, cool, okay, well, yep, I've got to do this to sort of honor my creativity, but, you know, during the day I've still got to go to work because, you know, I've got to put the food on the table. But like, yep, okay, I'm going to leave at 5 p.m. now because, you know, we want to write this book, or we want to, you know, I'm saying we like you've got two split personalities, but it might be a case of like, you know, initially, but as you're learning to kind of alchemize those energies, that masculine and feminine within you, it might feel a bit like you've got these two personalities competing. But, you know, the idea is to kind of harmonize and to bring them together and harness both of them, like with the Chariot, you know, so that you can like really steer your life forward, so that you're not just kind of trying to go it alone is what I'm getting. It's like you can listen to your wisdom. You've got this connection to a higher self that is guiding you. You can listen to that wisdom, and it can help support you to guide you forth, so that you don't need to like burn yourself out or be stuck in any kind of situation or keep really small. It's like, you know, this feminine part of you wants to guide you towards this growth and this new beginning. Okay, my lovely pile number 3s, I feel like that is all the messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the reading. Leave me a comment below if it resonated. I would really love to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already part of the community, and the notification bell so you'll be notified when I next upload a reading. Thank you so much for being listening to this reading today. All the best with your manifestation, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye.